Watching me on Pornhub, Siberia, Paris transit. I like Kazakhstan. I like Maria and Juan. Do you like my pretty pussy? Direct Instagram. Oh, my friend, come to Russia for weekend. Oh, my friend, narcotic, don't forget. Johnny in Kamaz and race. LSD Sputnik to space. If you like romantic games, I'm sitting on your face.
Yo, it's Artemy's bread basket. My name is D. I'm here with my life partner George.
Yep. What's going on?
I listened to this whole song. It's pretty good.
Is it like a mix of Russian and English? Because I'm hearing a lot of like.
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah.
pretty pussy.
At one point, a guy's like sitting around fucking with his Kalishnikov in the air.
Yeah. Oh, the video's insane. The video's wild.
I think this is our fucking song, like our startup song.
Yo, really quick, shout out. We're number 80 on the U.S. hockey podcast list. We have cracked the top 100.
Is that good? I don't know. Is that good?
I don't know, dude.
I'll take that shit all day.
The competition's weird. Like, out of like, the guys that are around us, we have like the best graphics on our logo. So, I
made that on my iPhone. Literally.
You did a great job. Fantastic.
Bro, I made that on my fucking legit, like where you edit and you mark up a photo on your iPhone.
Anything
that's where I made
face on it. Anything with Panarin's face on, it's gonna win clicks.
I kind of want to get another logo, like just another one, like more of like a graphic, like an animated one, kind of like a bread man, like Artemiy in a bread basket with his like curls.
But I would kind of love to see him riding a bicycle with a basket in front and carrying a bunch of baguettes.
I'm in.
Like a French dude, like a guy in
animated, or you want like a photo shoot of that?
No. If we could get a photo shoot, but he's on, he's taking a little bit of time from the team, so maybe he could slot us in.
Tell me if you're watching, bro, or you're listening.
We got ideas, and we're gonna make it look great. D's got a lot of hookups. He's got a lot of guys with 4K cameras. He can make it artsy guys,
So today's the day, February 25th, 2021. I'm battling COVID still. I don't know if I'm still positive or not. I think I might be because I'm still a little stuffed up, but I'm doing what I gotta do.
You're on day 10, my man. You're on day 10. You are, as far as the state is concerned, you can leave your house again. But I will not be coming over until you.
No, that's not true because the city, New York City, calls me and they have me down. I have to be quarantined in my house till March 2nd.
So what is that?
That's 2 weeks. That's 14 days since the 16th.
Unless they don't count, you called them a couple of days after you started feeling, you called them.
No, I know. I told them the exact day when I was feeling sick. Like when I got tested, I told them I was feeling sick like a few days ago. Right. So it's 14 days. It's not. I guess New York City is a little different. Everywhere's a little different. Obviously.
A little extended vacation.
It's fine. I'm just happy. My mom got it. My dad got it. I'm happy. Everyone's all right. Everyone's pretty much on the mend.
No, you skated out good.
And pretty much just normal, like regular mild symptoms. Anyway, I miss Artemiy Panarin.
More time to watch Rangers hockey. I mean, it wasn't great the other night, last night.
I mean, there's nice stuff to take out of it. I mean, Igor was fucking jumping on his head. Like, he was playing great.
Can I just say, going to that game, if you thought you were going to witness something other than what you witnessed with the 4 defensemen that were playing in place of guys like Miller and Trouba, I mean, what did you think was going to happen when you put in Boteto, Hayek? I mean, Jack Johnson's out there, with Brendan Smith. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? You think we're going to get a lockdown performance? Come on, dude. I mean, what we got was because of 2 people. It was or 3 people. You could say Mika woke up also. It was because of Mika, Kreider, and Igor.
Yeah.
Without Igor stood on his head.
Yeah, he made some sick plays.
The game, it was like, I think I ran to take a piss because I thought the game nothing was going to happen the first 30 seconds. And all I hear is screaming from the TV because they're leaving guys wide open in front.
Yeah, they do that, though. Like, openings of periods, usually the first period, too, even when they're fully, not hurt, it's kind of a little loose for, like, the first 3-4 minutes.
Like, they're not locked in, right?
No.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Like, it's kind of like up and down a little bit. Like, they're like the opponent's definitely getting some chances for sure.
You got a guy, Jack Johnson, who doesn't belong in the league. You got guys like Boteto, journeyman, Can't stay with the team for too long.
I feel like Boteto, like honestly, I mean, not
listen,
great, but he's
out of
just
the four, he's the best.
he's
Hayek
a
is just
depth
trying not to get
defenseman,
noticed
but
out
like
there, right?
he's
He's
not
just
bad.
he's trying not to fall down on the ice while he's defending, bro. Come
And
on.
Libor is playing okay.
He's no, I'm just he's.
I know there's a stigma amongst Ranger fans that hate Libor. I don't know. I like his name, but he's playing all right. He's not playing like totally shitty.
There's games when you don't notice him, and that's like everybody. The running joke is as long as you don't notice him, he's
Isn't
playing
that
well.
what you want though?
You don't want to, yeah,
Defenseman?
right. When you're a defenseman, you don't want to hear their names really because that means they're not screwing up,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
But
I
they made
feel
a
like
couple
that's
of
what
there was a couple of plays there, man, where it looked like they weren't talking to each other because they both had their backs turned to each other, and there's two wide open guys in the front of the net, and Igor was holding that game. You know, he held them close enough that Kreider and his hat trick could keep it a
hilarious. I mean,
game.
Respect the Kreider, I guess, for the hat trick, but they're all like rebound, like tipping
Dude,
kind of shit.
I love it, dude. Use that big fat body, get in front of the net, punish people, bro. You got speed, you got size, and you got strength. What do you?
And Mika looked good. Mika looked good. I know he didn't score, but
absolutely, I agree. He can't score for his life. I don't
whatever.
know.
He played aggressive. Our Power here. Our PK was due for like a shitty game, and then I wrote PP was also due. You know, like we did okay on the power play. Our power play was struggling before last night.
It was actually like a reversal of what we were used to. It's been we've been locked down. We were like, I think I saw the graphic was fifth in the league in the penalty kill.
Yeah.
And like we're close to the bottom on the power play, even though it's been kind of it's been okay. It's just they haven't been scoring on it, but they've been controlling the play. But without Panarin to score those goals on the power play, it was pretty nice. Dude, I mean, Kreider just got to do more of that. I like that. You need that body in the front. You got to score the dirty goals in this league. You're not going to get all pretty plays. You know what I mean? But with Mika, dude, can you please, I mean, in the offseason, can somebody teach him how to go to the forehand? If I see another fucking backhand move on a breakaway, I'm going to lose my mind. Everybody knows it's coming.
You know who else had a couple of good plays was, I know you hate that, you don't want to hear this, but Strome had a couple of good plays.
I know.
Strome's decent. He's not bad, though.
My friend, I
don't ever call me that. Don't ever say that.
Like, I love I root for Strome to do well, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want him not to do well. I love to see that shit. You just don't see enough of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Miss open nets. I mean, I'm with you on that.
What was it? Do you remember who his line mates were? What line was it? Was it KZB?
No.
No, not KZB. I mean, it was.
No, it wasn't Lafreniere. No, because in the beginning of the game, Lafreniere was on the top line. It was Lafreniere, Mika, and Booch. Or no, and Kreider. So who does that leave? Strome, Blackwell.
I think moved up to the top six, right?
Yeah, but who else was on?
Really funny though. Really funny thing. A lot of people on Twitter talking about protecting Blackwell against the expansion draft.
I saw that too.
I mean, the kid's playing great. I mean,
I know. Let's calm down, though, like a little. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's one of those.
Played okay. He played okay. From the flashes that I saw, he made a couple of good defensive plays too. Goat. Yeah.
I root for Goat, man. I really want him to do well. He's a young kid, and like in that trade, we got really super excited seeing like the skill that he had when he came onto the team last year. He was just flashing. He's flashing so much. But even bigger news than that, I mean, like other than the game, I was so hyped to see Hedl back on the ice. We need
in practice today.
Yeah, you sent me that little GIF or whatever.
Yeah, we figured out how to make GIFs. I thought you were gonna post it.
No, it was terrible, dude.
What are you talking about?
When it came to my phone, it was all pixelated.
Get out of here! No way.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have posted it, but it looked like dog shit.
That's so weird, though.
On the file transfer between phones, probably it got like ruined.
That's crazy. Okay.
Probably. What is it called?
No gives a shit.
Yeah. Well, when I can figure out technology, I'll do better on the Twitter account.
So yeah, he's going to be back soon. I mean, hopefully Artemiy gets back soon. I mean, more and more like there's no real update on it. It's just like more and more people are saying this is total bullshit. Like it seems like it's total bullshit.
I mean, before we hopped onto the show, we said no news. I think like no news is good news in like a story like this. You don't want to hear.
Police report.
We're rooting for obviously we're rooting for this to be a false story, to be complete fabrication. So like somebody coming out and saying I'm the victim, this and that. That stuff is like total. It's gonna, it's gonna.
Yeah, well, it hasn't
crash on the
happened. You would have assumed like it would
hasn't
have happened by now.
Right. Right. So like you said, no news is good news. And every story that's been coming out, like even these media outlets like Deadspin and Vice, they're all coming out with articles because it's a political interest piece too. It's not just
listen, they're trying to get the fucking
clicks,
search engine optimization. You know what I mean? Like, because they stink. Deadspin stinks.
Vice, no, I'm not a fan of either.
Vice
but like
has some good stuff, but not really.
Yeah, I had like the alert on, so whatever was popping up.
Yeah, I remember you sent me it.
But who's the kid? If we're gonna talk about Panarin, I guess we're gonna skim away from the actual game. But that kid Slava Malamud, that's on
he's a reporter, right?
He's a reporter. He covers. He's the guy for the KHL as far as inside scoops. He did like a pretty good job of summarizing all the false accusations or all the
players to this, basically.
All the incorrect, like the inaccuracies of the story. Like he kind of summarized on stuff like that, like timing of it, like based on their travel schedule, it didn't line up.
That's the biggest thing that's crazy, right? Like,
they
have a specific. He said one date, Nazareth, and then the game is played like a week later.
Right. So there was inaccurate as far as that's concerned. They talked about the money, right? Like as a bribe to keep this on the hush.
Yeah.
And he referred to it as a 40,000 euros, meaning at the time, Latvia's currency wasn't in euro.
Really?
So
what was it?
It wasn't euro.
It
was their old currency. It was their original currency. But there's a bunch of stuff. There's nobody's coming in to corroborate the story. Nobody from the police. Nobody from the police, nobody from the hotel, no one from the KHL. Like even if you cover something up, I mean, we're not, somebody's going to come forward, and it can't be a raving lunatic that's trying to like win the favor of their overlord. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing is nobody else has come forward like to like you said, corroborate his shit. So I mean, unless somebody does do that, it's definitely bullshit.
Yeah. But and the other thing is the guy's got motivation to do it because to like kind of to trash Panarin and make himself put himself in favor of like guys like Putin and his cronies because the guy's not working. I think he hasn't worked in a little bit. He's a longtime coach, and hockey's all he knows, and he's trying to win favor. And
to a lesser extent, who this reminds me of is Don Cherry, but he always worked.
What do you mean?
Isn't Don Cherry the guy with the weird suits? The crazy suits?
You mean? Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. The Hockey Night.
He would say crazy shit like that. Like,
he would do something like this, you mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. But, I mean, Cherry's always worked, though, and shit. Like, he's always been like...
Oh, yeah, he's always had a job, even though, like, he's always said stupid shit. I mean, he just got fired now because we're in cancel culture. I mean, but he takes it too far.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
He does take it too far.
He's 86, 87. He doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Even with like me, I'm not so big on the cancel culture stuff. He does kind
of. Neither am I. I'm not either.
And then he's like unapologetic.
There's context to everything. Everything has context to it, right? Like, you could be trying to make a joke, and a joke doesn't land, and there should be some leeway there in terms of like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not. It doesn't mean you're fucking hating your heart for somebody or some group or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I like the shit he was talking about with Cherry specifically with like the Euros or whatever the fuck he was, or the poppies, right? Like some people were, it's just an old school way of doing it. Yeah. I mean, and listen, he's 87, 86. I mean, it could have been time to move on a little bit, I guess.
And he's he's a little old and he's in a high profile job like that. He's bound to make a mistake, Is he 87? Is he that old?
Yeah, he's in his late 80s.
So as far as Panarin's concerned, everybody, there's a lot of people. Everybody has like a different idea on how long he's going to be out. Somebody brought up a good point. If he leaves the Rangers circle, the COVID protocol is going to make him stay out of the team a minimum of 2 weeks just for the protocol. So if he's going about, if he's traveling about trying to handle his business,
right,
however much time that takes, add on to that 2 weeks for the COVID protocol.
Yeah, I mean that's not going to be great. That's annoying too, but I mean that's I feel like the least of our worries. I know it's going to be an extra 2 weeks, but it might not even be 2 weeks. It might just be like he gets tested every day, no symptoms. You know,
If he's doing
it's
that,
not
though,
two
that's the
weeks.
thing, huh?
Can it be like, oh, if he has four, if he comes back, he's ready to come back?
So, like at the beginning of the season, when Mika got sick when he was back home in Sweden, and he traveled back. He traveled here when he was cleared to travel because he was, because he was COVID free.
Yeah.
And then he got here, and he was here before when training camp was going on, but he couldn't participate with the team because he had to stay in protocol for 2 weeks because he traveled.
So they had to make it.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's mandatory if you're not like partaking in the protocol, if you're not in the web with your team, in that controlled environment, you're like forced to sit out.
All right. So like this guy Slava Malamud posted a update yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a short story. Here's an update on the Panarin situation from a former KHL player who claims he has spoken with Mikhail Anderson, the player who, as alleged by Nazarov, broke up Panarin's fight with the young woman. Number one. Should I share? I'll share the screen because I'm a fucking gangster. Hold on. I'm such a fucking technical whiz.
So what's he saying? That he is actually saying there was an altercation?
So the player speaking is Roman Ladushin, who was not Panarin's teammate at the time. He relays his conversation with Anderson. Everything that follows is allegedly Anderson's testimony. So Anderson was supposedly the guy who broke up the fight if there was a fight. There was indeed an incident with drunk VTS players in Riga following a game in 2011. There was indeed an altercation with one of the local girls who Anderson allegedly claims was there to pick up players. The altercation was, Anderson claims, entirely verbal. Nobody was punched, and there was no criminal case opened at any point. Nazarov says Lyudushin is lying, probably as a revenge for Panarin's politics. At Vitiaz, Panarin was Nazarov's favorite. I mean, because he's the greatest. He was indeed given a lot more playing time than is customary for players of his age, but when Nazarov landed, Severstal refused to follow him there.
You know what's funny?
I guess that's another team. Okay.
So this guy at the time was no problem. He had no problem covering everything up and bribing people, according to his story, bribing people to stay quiet. Doesn't care about the girl, obviously. He just wants to make sure his star player can play. Now, when it benefits him, it's no problem to throw him under the bus. Right?
Right.
So now he's got morals, but back then he's got, it's just about.
Now
playing.
all of a sudden he's acting.
All of a sudden he's got heart. Yeah.
Nazarov says Ladushin has been angry at Panarin ever since. Ladushin says Panarin, who he calls a decent person, wasn't greatly loved by Vitias teammates, possibly due to being the coach's favorite, and they stuck him with a restaurant bill he couldn't afford. That's fucked up.
Yeah, but that goes against everything. That goes against everything you hear from what the reporters are coming back with. That he was actually really beloved by this.
Well, this is one guy's. This is one guy's. Allegation. Like this is one. Right. This is one guy's mouth, like word. Ladushin, the amount of cotton wool in Nazarov's head has lately exceeded all limits. Cotton wool is a slang term for excessive, mindless, pro-Putin brand of patriotism. My take in the next tweet. Everything relayed by Ladushin is 100% consistent with the kind of person I know Panarin to be, and with Nazarov's history of provocative statements I am intimately familiar with. Back when Nazarov first started sounding off in my newspaper, this was his exact MO. Nazarov, with big contributions from my disgraced ex-colleague Igor, I don't know what that is, would take factual situation, embellish it greatly, and misrepresenting verbal altercation with a brutal beating is definitely something Nazarov is capable of. Phrases like he later out with one powerful punch is highly recognizable for Larin's narrative style. I guess the author of the initial.
So this guy actually, he's confirming what we're saying. He's actually saying there was something did go down, but not the way he's saying it.
Yeah, he didn't knock a girl out. I mean, whatever. Who gives? I mean,
that kind of. I guess that could, that could make sense. He took something that happened, and he he made it into a big fantasy where Panarin is the scapegoat.
Yeah, he embellishes it to get a fucking story out there. I mean, it's not
Right.
it's not like a shocker either.
Yeah, he turned a non-story into a
And all
story.
right,
To try
what
to
he was
get the
19,
scapegoat.
20 Panarin. He's going to a bar and like you got ring rats there that are trying to like get pregnant or whatever. And I mean, an altercation happens where they say "fuck you, fuck you." I mean, who? I mean, does that? I mean, is that bad?
No, it's not. But he used that. He used
As
like
long as
his
he didn't beat the
background.
shit out of a girl, like the only thing that's weird about this, and I think that's making it a way bigger story, is that he's taking this leave of absence. Like, I understand that he's probably trying to make sure everyone's safe and like getting people over here or whatever they're trying to do.
I'd
But
love to find that out. Like, right? I would love to find out what
yeah,
he's
like
doing, like in this leave of absence.
also the thing is like if there was more shit to either this story or other allegations from other people or something, like I feel like it would be out already.
Yeah,
Like it would follow up right after another.
I mean, it's 4 days now, and it's not like nothing has come out. A lot of stuff has come out, but it's all been pro Panarin
Yeah.
and pretty much anti this guy. What's his name?
Yeah.
Nazarov. I mean, and you would think that if there are still probably a lot of players that were from the team, a lot of people that were associated with the team back in Russia. So if they're back home in Russia,
Yeah.
easy to throw Panarin, who's playing in the United States, and trashing Putin overseas, and living the lavish life over here. It's easy to throw him under the bus if you're still back home, and kind of like struggling. I mean, those guys are not living lavish lifestyles, most of them, I'm sure.
Yeah, but that guy Nazarov's got to be fucking paid. He played in the NHL for a long, unless he's like a degenerate gambler like Yager.
I don't know. He's probably, I mean,
Yes, I mean, yeah, he probably wants back in the limelight or whatever. I get it. I mean, I understand. His motivations are less than fucking pure for sure. That guy, and I mean, even if there was like I mean, as long as he didn't knock girls out or whatever, and it was just like a fuck you match or whatever, and like see ya.
that's probably it. Was not. It was not.
Then to me, that's not a big. I mean, to me, it's like, dude. I mean, everyone's gone through that. As long as he didn't beat the tits out of a girl, like
no, as long as he didn't lay hands or anything like that. If it was a verbal thing, it was unfortunate, but nobody was hurt, and it's really a non-story. So, I mean, just the fact is the guy's going to be out for God knows how long. You got Heedle's out. He's hopefully coming back by the next game, but I don't think they've announced anything yet. He practiced with the team today. Trouba's out 4 to 6 weeks. What did he do? He broke his hand or wrist. What did he do? Thumb. Do you really need your thumb? Can't you just tape it up and get back out there?
He was skating, they said.
Yeah, he's going to skate. He's not going to, you don't want to lose your legs, but Cock was on the COVID list, which worries me.
Is Keandre on the COVID list? Why is Keandre out?
Keandre's on the COVID list. Keandre actually, so weird story that Keandre Keandre gets announced to be on the COVID list yesterday, like maybe 3 or 4 hours before the game started, maybe less.
Yeah, I think it was like around 4:30.
And so I was texting with my cousin, we have a group chat about the Rangers, and he's like, watch this game shut down. No way they play tonight. And then I'm watching NHL tonight, or was it on NBC? What was it, NBC Sports Network? Which one?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm watching the pregame, and I'm like, pretty sure this game's gonna play. Meanwhile, on the West Coast,
yeah,
you got who was it? San Jose shut down.
Yeah.
One test on the. So the thing is, when it's the same day as the game. What's the protocol? Do you shut down the game because you don't have time? You don't have time to test.
In San Jose, what happened? More than one player got tested positive. Is that why?
Where? No, only one player. Only one player, but it was right before the game. So I guess the problem is you don't have time to test everybody else.
Oh, that might be it. Right. That might be it.
That's the issue. You don't have like a day buffer. So usually I think what they do is they'll cancel the game. But the Ranger game was primetime national game. So
they just let it go?
I don't know. There's a little bit of it seems like there's a little bit of controversy. The only thing I could say is that even though he tested game day, there was a little bit of a gap between the last game, even though they're practicing. Maybe he was isolated. Maybe this is just a contact tracing thing. So, or it could be the league being like, you know what? Just go. Big game. We need this game to go. I don't know.
I mean, speaking of big games, you can go to the Lake Tahoe games, which were okay. I mean, besides the 9-hour fucking delay because the sun was a factor.
Yeah, I mean, it looked sick though.
Amazing.
I turned it on, and like on an HD TV, it looks magnificent. Like
Right.
it looks like, I know you didn't see the movie, but Mystery Alaska, like that kind of setting where you're playing a pond hockey game out with the mountains in the background. I mean, it was insane. But you know, flip side, you're playing when you're hoping that like enough overcast, you're getting enough overcast on that day to
Right.
keep the ice from melting under these players' skates. Um,
I mean, they made it happen.
you saw the forecast. What was it, like 40 degrees, something like that?
Yeah, it's pretty nippy there. It's not warm.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
but I mean,
40s
like,
or 50 around there.
the only thing I'm not going to say they should have played it at night. A lot of people were saying they should have played it at night. At night, you're going to see none of that, right?
Well, that's why I think they got that first period in.
Right. No, I agree. Like if you're going to do something like this and you're not making any money off of it with fans in the stands, you know, like at the stadium series
but
things that they
think of
do,
this, right?
you got to take advantage of what it looks like. You know what I mean?
You know, that's the money shot, right?
Right. You're doing this it's kind of like a very expensive advertisement for the for the league.
Well, listen, like with the TV deal too, to put that into this,
right. But before you jump into that, I wanted to say, like, I mean, there's other places you could have done it though. There was like, you know, you got like, you know, I don't know, Lake Placid, like Lake Louise. You got what's the other one? Banff, Alberta. Like,
I don't think they were gonna do it in Canada.
All right, but
not this time. I'm saying next time. I get, bro. They did this for the TV. I'm telling you.
Right.
That's why
I get it. 100%, but like those places are gorgeous to do it, and you don't have to worry about the ice melting under the players.
No, I know, but they wanted to get American TV numbers up because this game had the Flyer game, 1 million people watched, most ever.
You can't get American TV numbers up if it's in Canada. I guess because
you can't go to Canada because of the COVID.
Right, so only the Canadian teams would be playing.
You'd rather have you'd rather have markets, big markets, right. Boston, Phillies.
Right, so then why wouldn't they do like Lake Placid with like the Rangers and the Flyers, or the Boston and the Rangers? That would have been
sure. Dope. They will. Maybe they'll do it next year.
Yeah, but the thing is, how you're doing it. Next year you're gonna hope you're having fans in the stands, so you're gonna do it in a stadium. This year you're doing. This is the year where you don't have fans, so you decide to do it on the pond.
I feel like you could probably keep like the stadium series shit going, and like when things are back to normal, and like just have a game like this, like a game like that, just for like the cool fucking.
Right. I went to that game.
That's sick. Yeah, that's
Ricky scooped me tickets. I don't know if it was just for surprise or birthday, whatever. I froze my ass off. It was dope, but I froze my. It's like going to like one of those. It's like going to like a night game, an NFL night game. Yeah. Like in the middle of winter, it was insane, bro.
And last year when they did it, where they do it, and where it was like a fucking disaster because like the roads were all clogged up. It was like, what was it? It was like a weird like college place. It was it was like a big fucking controversy because it was a mess. Yeah, because it was like middle of nowhere.
Logistically, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was Air Force maybe I don't fucking know. It was some stadium where like. They're not used to having so many cars and so many things going on. Like, so it was a disaster.
Like Woodstock.
Yeah, right. So, like, this thing, like, they're going to get a ton of money for the TV, bro. This thing had 1 million viewers in America, most ever. So the TV numbers.
Transition into TV deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I guarantee that's why they did Lake Tahoe. Like,
they're trying to bulk up the numbers.
Yeah, because they knew that the fucking pictures would be sick. You know? They knew they had to get it in first off. They got in their first period, so they get some shots. And then the next day, they moved the other game, right, to the next day. And it was like around like magic hour. So it was like beautiful. Like it was unreal.
The hockey was fun to watch. It was cool. It was really cool to see like, you know, trees right up against the boards. And then people like paddling, like people were paddling out and kayaking and stuff. It was really sick. The mountains in the background was insane.
The only thing that my beef with like the stadium series and the Winter Classic is, because these stadiums aren't made for like ice hockey. Like the people are so far away.
Yeah, they're so far off the ice. You don't even see the people.
I don't love that.
Yeah,
I don't love that.
Like we're used to the fans on the glass banging the boards. Yeah, you don't.
What would be sick is like where they play like the U.S. Open. Like I know it's not as many people, but it's like an outdoor kind of stadium. And I think like the courts are kind of small. Where you probably make it work, maybe. I don't know.
A lot less people, dude. It's a lot
less. Like you could probably charge a ton of money for that thing, and you just want like imagine outdoors and like the people are like right on top of you. Like that's sick.
out of curiosity, I'm just trying to see seating at U.S. Open. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. There might not be like a bowl that has like 15,000, but
8,000.
okay. I mean, it's not terrible.
Is that the right one? That doesn't look like Queens, is it? Yeah, it might be.
That's the
Arthur
only weird
Ashe.
thing. Like just the size.
Well, then it says Arthur Ashe Stadium is 23,000, which is solid. I don't know.
I mean,
Stadium.
23,000 would be dope. Like, I just want to see like like how it looks in a fucking state in like an arena.
Yeah, 8,000. So it's a lot less people, but yeah, you're right. It would be people right up against the ice. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, it does look. It throws you off on TV. It definitely throws you off. And then when you're there, you don't see a lot because the angles are terrible.
Oh, sure, it's gotta be terrible.
You're so far.
Yeah,
so
it's
far
gotta
from
suck.
the surface, bro.
It's gotta suck.
Even if you're paying for decent tickets, you're so far away because nobody's close.
Bro, where are they putting it? They're putting it in center fields or whatever. Like the nicest, you have like you're fucking 150 feet away, probably. You have it's you have 100 yards of fucking grass between you. Remember when Corey Perry got kicked out last year when they were playing Nashville? It was Dallas versus Nashville, and he like clipped somebody. They kicked him out literally like 2 minutes within the game. That it was, bro. The walk was literally like 5 blocks. And he's just walking with his stick and like his it's hilarious. It was like the biggest walk of shame ever. It was so fun.
So yeah, you might be onto something there where they're trying to bulk up they're padding the statistics, right? They're trying to get as much viewership as they can because this year their deal with NBC is expiring. Right? And NBC is pretty much exclusive, right? They've got all the rights that are not on NHL TV and not regional. So they're
splitting it up, though. They're saying it's not going to be one.
So that's what that's the talks are about. Actually, NBC. I thought NBC wasn't interested, but it looks like it's going to be them and another
ESPN is in
media outlet, and that's going to be ESPN. Which it's been so long since ESPN's had it, right? I think it's been like early 2000s. Wow. It's been a while, yeah.
Well, the NBC deal was 10 years.
All right, so you're talking about so 2009, 2010, you think?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what happened before then, like what the deal was.
So if that's the truth, if that's what's going to happen, if ESPN is back in the mix, it's pretty good for hockey, dude. Overall, like
hell yeah,
ESPN is going to bring a lot more fans,
they're gonna promote the shit out of it,
a lot more interest. Yeah, it's going to bump it. I feel like hockey had like a period there where they were on the cusp of like really growing as a sport. And then there was a lot of bad moves. I feel like Batman kind of dropped the ball in a couple of things like CBAs and like TV deals. And they don't promote the sport. Everybody knows they don't promote the sport well enough. Like they don't promote their stars well enough. They could have grown it, and I think part of that was not keeping ESPN in the fold. So getting them back into this thing is going to be huge, I think, for the sport overall. I
saw this really interesting video. I don't remember. I can't cite it. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but it was talking about like the Gretzky deal from Edmonton to the Kings and what that did for hockey in the United States, big time. Yeah, and like the West Coast, kind of like it really like reason we have Austin Matthews.
That was right there. That was actually the beginning, I think, of Gary Bettman's tenure as the commissioner, and it was around that time because I remember part of those articles that were going about. It was when the Rangers won the cup in '94. There was an article in Sports Illustrated showing that actually the NHL was overtaking the NBA as far as
get out of here.
Yeah, like it was like on the TV rating happening. It was look it up. It was a Sports Illustrated article. It was around when the Rangers and the Knicks were both in the finals. You remember? So it was '94. We won the cup. The Knicks lost.
Yeah.
To the Rockets, right? And I think after that, like in the summertime, I think he was Sports Illustrated came out with an article and it said hockey's on the rise and the NBA is on decline. Man, I think it was because of Michael Jordan wasn't playing at the time.
That's crazy. Maybe, yeah, it might have been like just
that was part of it. Yeah. And hockey was hot, and a major sports team in New York won. It was hockey. So
I mean, listen, dude. I think hockey. Listen, it's expanded. You have Vegas, and Vegas is like an unmitigated success. Like they're killing it. and you have Seattle, which they're already fucking sold out, like the tickets and shit like that. Like
Seattle's like a great it's a great hockey. I mean, it's
you,
a
you
great
do have
sports
like the
market.
one fucking red fucking flag, which is the Arizona Coyotes. Like
Yeah.
absolute nightmare of a fucking franchise. I don't care what anybody says. It's supposedly, and like you saw that. I didn't see the article. I saw like the bullet points, that article about them. What went down, like they're not paying vendors. They were paying fucking signing bonuses late, per diems. They weren't paying in the bubble and stuff. They were trying to fuck over vendors, like saying, oh, they owed a vendor, let's say 20 grand, and they try and get it in for 10 grand. You know how that works. You do it,
So they're on the verge of getting like a Bettman having to step in and start
they
taking
lost
them
like $50 million, but the owner that has him now, he's a casino guy. He's like very wealthy. He's a billionaire. And this is probably a benefit for staying in Arizona. You can get a license for operate a casino in Arizona if you own a professional team.
What?
A license to operate like a casino.
Right. Yeah. Wait. So how long has he owned the team for? Because
I think he just bought him a few years ago.
So this is his plan.
Yeah, I guess that's a big. I mean, that's fine. Like, it's a big benefit for him to like
Why
keep
not?
the team there and not move them.
So
Because
I mean,
it depends on if your team is in Arizona.
In Arizona, right? So he gets to expand his business, and the Coyotes get an owner that has deep pockets.
Yeah, but I mean, the owner himself, like they were fucking vendors over, because like once they came in, they were saying, "Oh yeah, that was a deal with the old ownership," trying to fucking finagle money. And then,
well, I don't think casino owners are like, or top like top
right.
shelf on everything they do. I mean, like
but I mean, listen, if you have the money, bro, like you got to do the right thing.
Yeah, but I'm sure I don't know his background, but he probably didn't get to where he was by just.
No, he's definitely a proper piece of shit.
He's a shark. Sure. He's for sure a shark.
So like they in July, I guess the signing bonuses were late. So like the
I heard about this. Yeah,
got involved, and that blew it up, and I think made it a bigger story. And then the story that came out in the Athletic, really blew the top off. And supposedly, like they wrote, like they put a statement out right away after they told our journalist no comment. A statement like are totally denying or whatever. And then the guy Armstrong, I think his name is GM there, calls up the fucking journal and like tries to like kind of like bully her, or like whatever, try to like intimidate her a little bit.
To drop the story, or
I don't know what to do what, like, but like, yeah, the story's already fucking out there. Cause what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna go and intimidate this? And supposedly she's like a big time journalist, like, she's very well respected and stuff like that. What are you doing? Don't call. What are you doing? You
just made it worse.
Well, like, what do they have any fucking brain cells there?
No, is that the GM that was doing the draft out of his mega mansion?
I don't know if that was
everybody everybody kind of like gave him heat about, and then after the draft he gets fired and replaced. Is that him? I'm not too aware.
No, that's Arizona Cardinals, bro.
Was that not the? Is that the
Cardinals? Yeah, that was the NFL guy. Yeah. This guy Chayka was the GM, or like
Chayka, right.
That young guy, analytic. That guy's that guy is a grifter, con man through and fucking through. He thinks because he tells fucking owners he knows division and multiplication, he should be a GM for this fucking team. It's unreal. This guy, this is what they did. They fucking drafted that kid who was a fucking racist kid, who initially they didn't want him. They put him off. Like, he's not on our draft list, right? He's got too much problems back in. He beat the shit out of like a fucking disabled black kid, bro. This guy, this player. So they did first off, they did that. They ended up drafting the kid after he was off the draft list. So like, guarantee you there's mayhem going on in the front office there. Then I don't know if this was before or after, but they did like those illegal workouts where they lost like a ton of draft picks because of it. Like they did
illegal workouts. They did like
they weren't supposed to, I guess, communicate with the players at a certain time. They did do it, and they did like workouts and like combines. So they got clipped for that. They lost like a couple of fucking draft picks.
Right.
What else? Oh, meanwhile, they're losing like $10 to $50 million a year, like a obscene amount of money they're losing. And then Chayka tried to, they gave, I think, Chayka an extension, but then he tried to leave. He basically went, I think he tried to get the Devils job last year. He was in negotiations with another team to like move on from the Coyotes, because
after you just signed an extension with them.
Yeah, and basically what went down was, I guess the ownership group in Arizona just said, no, we can't do that. had Bettman intervene, and that guy Chayka, I think, is suspended from like being a hockey executive for a few years because he fucked around. So like they've had like real fucking major issues.
Who is stepping into this mess, bro? Who wants this job? I mean, obviously there's very few. There's only 30 GM positions in the league or whatever.
Yeah.
So whatever comes up, you take it. But that sounds like it sounds like a nightmare.
No, man. Arizona, that team sounds like a fucking disaster. You know what the big problem is?
They also have no draft capital. So like, how are you rebuilding that? How are you rebuilding that team if you're not? I mean, if they're not spending money, if they're not even paying their vendors, and you don't have draft capital.
Right.
I mean, I don't think they have a first. I think they sold off their first round picks for a couple of years. Second,
they lost.
I think they have all.
No, they got in trouble. They got in trouble and they lost them.
They lost them. I know. That was part of the punishment penalty. No.
So I have a big I've been looking into this, right? Like a big reason why a lot of NHL teams make so much money. Like forget the Knicks. I mean the Rangers. Forget Boston, but I mean, you could think about Boston too. Look at the Devils, right? The Devils aren't 100% sold out like the Blackhawks are, the Rangers are. The Rangers are on 99% because they're scumbags and they want to raise the price so much. But the Devils have like 16,000 or 17,000 people that in the stadium. This is pre-COVID, and they sell around 90%, which is still pretty strong. But the reason why they're profitable and they make money is they have the rights to the arena. So besides just the Devils games, which they make money off of, obviously, they get to program the arena. So the arena is owned by the housing authority or whatever the authority is in Newark.
What authority? What is it?
Yeah, it's some governmental authority, whatever. Okay. And then it's leased to the Devils company that owns the Devils.
So anything, so they pay the lease, but anything that goes on within the building
is theirs.
It's theirs.
So they put on concerts when there's no hockey or whatever. They put on a ton of stuff. And like Prudential Center was like top 5 in the country in terms of arena earnings. So that's how they make so much money. The problem with Arizona is they don't have an arena that they run. I think they just lease it out. Like it's not like part of like their deal where,
other than the tickets to the Coyotes, they're not making anything else.
Yeah. So they can't subsidize it basically and put it all together and probably be more affordable, like be able be more profitable, or at least get close to it and not lose $50 million a fucking year. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm looking up right now.
That's a big
Arizona Coyotes. Where do they rank on the?
They got to be close to last
list. I love that every year we come up.
I love that shit too.
Coyotes came in last place, number 31.
Yeah, I mean it's not surprising.
They're 285 million valuation, 285, and the Rangers are what? I think a bill 1.6.
Yeah. Bro, the Rangers make like over $100 million in profit in normal years. And that's not even playoff years.
Right. Well,
imagine they go for a run in the playoffs.
I always wondered what do they consider like New York Ranger earnings? What do they consider New York Ranger earnings? Does all the MSG channels, do they count? I mean, because that's Madison Square Garden.
I don't know.
Separate? Is it just
I think it might be separate.
Sales and MSG, the network?
They break it down. If you look at the Forbes list, they breaks down like where the revenue comes from. Like it's pretty broad. It's not specific as fuck, but
I mean, Dolan's raking it in. He doesn't have to win a championship ever. He'll be at the top of the Forbes list in both the Knicks and the Rangers. And
both teams have no debt, almost no debt. I think it's like less than 1% debt, which in and of itself is crazy. Because if you're buying a team for $1 billion, it's probably mostly debt now because it's such a large amount of money, unless you're like Paul Allen or the guy who owns the Clippers, like extremely wealthy, multi-billionaire, whatever.
Right. And you own everything cash.
Yeah. I think the Rangers, the last time I saw it, they were making like $250 million in revenue.
Okay.
And they were like their operating expenses and everything was like $150 million. So like they were making $100 million profit
a year off just the Rangers. Then you talk about the Knicks. You're talking about concerts. Dolan's raking it in.
Got it. They said like if Dolan was ever going to sell the Knicks and the Rangers and MSG together, because he's got the lease to MSG,
right?
It would cost like $6 billion ish around there, 6-7 billion.
Wow. Because that comes with the networks too, the TV networks.
That's all like huge. Yeah,
and he's the one broadcasting the Devils and the Islanders as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And did you hear the story that it was a rumor that Dolan was considering running for mayor? I mean, obviously that's not going to happen, but
oh my God. I mean,
it's really funny because he's a he's a big time business person. He's well known in New York City, but he's not well liked.
Everyone hates
He's
him.
like I mean, if half the town is a Knicks fan, half the town's a Rangers fan, which it's not. But I'm just saying, you have a big population there that's sports fans from the Garden. I mean, a lot of them hate him, even though the Rangers fans have no reason to hate him. I mean, all he does is pour money into the team.
Yeah,
And
no.
help
And
make
the
them
Rangers
contenders.
are pretty self-sustaining and shit. Like the leagues are totally different leagues, bro. Like it's like apples and fucking oranges. Like you can't really talk like the amount of collusion that goes on in the NBA is fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? So
Right. And I also feel like he's actually, all he's doing is hiring people, right? So I think he's hired the right people for the Rangers, whereas he's hiring the wrong people for the Knicks.
I
Like
don't know,
Isaiah
man. How do you know
Thomas.
that though? You know,
Dude,
like I think it's a lot to do with luck.
it is a lot to do with luck, of course. Like the Knicks can't get a fucking lottery ball to bounce their way for
Yeah, that or they can't get a big time free agent to come here.
Yeah, well, that's just a trickle down effect for like decades of like ineptitude, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
like the Knicks of the '90s were great to watch. I don't want to get into the Knicks now, but they were great to watch. I think like hiring Sather, even though he made, when Sather came to the Rangers, he was coming to a team when it was not in the cap era, right? This was pre-cap era.
They could spend a ton.
All he started buying players like Theo Fleury. And all these guys, all these big time names, and he tried to put together like a marquee list of guys that were either a little bit past or way past their primes,
Right.
You know what I mean? And it almost like it sounded like it could work, but it was just it just wasn't the right mix. It was too many egos, and they were a little bit past their prime.
Sure.
But other than that, I think they kind of realized their mistakes after a while. They started drafting a little bit better. And now we're in the situation now where you got a guy that's built a team before, building our team. So you're hiring the right people. That's what I'm trying to say. They have
But you still need to get lucky, right? You still need lightning to strike. Like
right. We caught the number 2 and the number 1 picks back to back years. We had Panarin who wanted to play nowhere else but here. A lot of things happened right for the team to be in the position they are.
Andre's working out. Right, like Nils Lundqvist looks like he's like people are looking like they're working out, but again, unlucky is Elias Anderson. You can. It's just luck of the draw. I mean, at some point, yeah, there's analytics and there's eye tests and all that shit, but at the other, you need the ball to break your way.
Right,
you need some puck luck. In other news, you want to move on to my guy Jeff Skinner, third straight game being healthy scratched, and he's making $9 million a year.
Yeah, let's talk about this guy. He's on a team with the future. He's on a team with the future Rangers, so I think he's important.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get him in the trade for Eichel.
This guy Skinner is eating up. What's 9 million? What is the cap is what, like 82 million? So
81.5. It's like
he's eating like
I have it here.
15% of the cap, and he's playing on the third line. Like what?
Well, he's healthy scratch too.
Well, no, not currently. Yeah, right. He's not even playing currently.
It's 11% of the cap.
Yeah, it's 11% of the cap.
Wow.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, listen, he did work, bro. And it's so funny. I'm on a hockey DB, and Jeff Skinner's like the top fucking search for him.
Let me. What is it? 14 games played, 1 assist. 1 assist.
He's only -2. Yeah, listen, in 18-19, he scored fucking 40 goals, and he got a $9 million deal per year. He got like a super long deal too. How long is this fucking thing?
I mean, what were his stats the year that he was like? What was he coming off of the year before he signed with the Sabres?
40 goals. Oh no, I think he got. Hold on.
The reason why this guy.
Okay, so listen, he was on the Carolina Hurricanes. He was a first round pick, 7th overall. So I mean, first fucking year, he scored 31 goals, bro. 63 points. I mean, that's pretty good. 20 goals.
Fell off a cliff, dude. He went to Buffalo and he fell off a cliff.
Well, no, he scored 40 goals his first year in Buffalo.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Eichel got him paid, baby. Eichel got him fucking paid, kid. But that's what I don't understand. Like, Eichel got you paid. Keep him on the same fucking line as Eichel and let him keep getting at least 30 goals or something. Try to get to 30 goals. I know it's not that simple, but the new guy threw him back down to the bottom 6. The Swiss guy. What's his face? He got COVID. Ralph Kruger.
I mean, the most important thing is that this guy keeps sucking and that the Sabres keep sucking and they find themselves in a position where they cannot pay two people that kind of money
Bro, they
going
paid him that
forward
money, dude.
with a shitty team that they have. So, I mean, it's like every day, like, well, if there's no the Rangers, I mean, the Rangers have so much news going on that's not every day that we talk about Eichel, but if there's even a lull in the news, like
Always.
it's somebody's tweeting about
Once
a
the
trade
Sabres start
package.
struggling and like kind of look more down in the standings, instantly Eichel trade rumors start right away.
Right away. As soon as they go on a skid, right?
The minute they lose like 3 games in a row,
in a row, it's like this guy's unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, today people got like really excited because he wasn't in the lineup, but I guess it was before they thought it was a healthy scratch, but it was
really?
It was a lower body injury.
What they think?
So
Traded?
A couple of people got a little excited.
My guy Skinner's gonna get a $7.5 million signing bonus in 22-23. He just got one. He just got one in this year.
And Eichel's is due up next year, which is why everybody's thinking it's not going to happen this year. It's going to happen sometime next year before he's due that bonus. And I think a no move clause kicks in, right? Something
for Eichel?
like that. Yeah, I think at the end of next year, it's not just a bonus; it's also a no move clause. So
let's look.
I think that's why people are like they have a timestamp for next year, not this.
And then next year, 22-23, the no move starts. And
it's crazy because that's when
got that.
That's also when that's when Mika's off the books, which it seems unlikely that you're going to have both Eichel and Mika on the team.
Say that.
I don't know how many people are going to pay. I mean, I know we're going to have cap room, but you're going to have a lot of your players, a lot of the young kids are going to come off of entry level contracts. Right. You're going to have to start paying people like Fox and
you got to assume
Kako keeps playing well.
If you're getting Eichel, you need to assume some of those young guys that are coming off ELCs are going to be traded.
Yeah, right. You're gonna
because if I'm Buffalo, I want the fucking moon for this guy Eichel. You understand me?
Yeah, but this is also the same team that like traded O'Reilly for like a bag of pucks, bro.
Yeah, like, but listen, Eichel is Eichel, bro.
Eichel is Eichel.
It's the Rangers that are interested in him.
Yeah.
So if I'm the GM, my fucking asking is high.
It's first round picks. It's going to be first round
multiple picks. First round picks, probably Kako and a defenseman.
No, I don't think Kako's on the table. Kako Lafreniere is not on the table.
Then bye. I'm gonna go call the Boston Bruins. Heard of them?
Fox isn't. Nah,
Fox. That's what I would be saying if I'm the Buffalo Sabres GM, right? And you're Gordon, and you say no, they're not on the table. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call up the fucking Philadelphia Flyers.
Go ahead.
Are you familiar with them?
I'm familiar with them. They don't have the draft capital.
Saying
right. I'm just saying, but I'm saying they don't have the draft capital. They don't have the prospects the Rangers have. The Rangers aren't going to give up players that they know are good. I think they're not going to give up a Miller. They'll give up instead of a Miller, they'll give up Nils Lundqvist, right?
No, I'm saying one of the kids. I'm not saying one of the guys who are in the NHL right now, except for Kako. I want fucking Kako.
They're going to get an NHL. They're going to get an NHL caliber player. It's going to be, I don't know who it's going to be, but they're going to get one of them. They're going to get two of our first tier prospects. They're going to get 2 first round picks. They're going to get stuff like that.
This is what I want. This is what I'll put together as a GM. I'm playing fucking fantasy GM. I want 2 number 1 picks, 1 unprotected, the other one protected. I want Kako, and I want the kid Jones, like a not second tier, but a good defensive prospect coming up, a young kid. And Jones, Kako, 2 number 1s, 1's not protected.
And the prospect then. And the prospect.
Prospect, correct.
Oh, you did pick up Jones. You said Jones is a prospect.
Jones.
I mean, that's the only heavy price you're paying right there really is Kako, because you kind of you see what he's turning into right now.
Yeah, he's looking
good. You're not gonna like parting with him, but I guess for Eichel you do stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think Kako's on the table, but we'll see. You never know. Maybe because they got Lafreniere that Kako is on the table, and you see guys like Miller panning out, and I don't know what's gonna happen with Kravtsov, man. This guy, he's playing all right in the KHL. He's got
how old is he?
Kravtsov? I think he's 20.
All right,
so what I got here. He's young, bro. He's very young. Kravtsov's got, I think he's got like 23 points in 45 games.
Wow.
Look it up in the KHL. He's doing all right. He's playing well. He's playing on a crappy team.
Italy, he's on tractor. He's got 48 games played, 23 points, 15 goals, 8 assists.
15 goals, 8 assists.
And
I'm telling you, like,
that's good.
I watch some of the stats that like they post on the internet. Like half of the amazing plays he makes that his teammates aren't finishing. So he's playing on a kind of like on an offensively depleted team, and he's still putting up decent amount of points. And he's super young, dude.
How old is he? 21.
21.
December 23rd, 99. He's yeah, I mean, listen, that's good numbers in the KHL. Like 23 points. KHL is not it's like a tough league to score in.
Right.
So that's pretty good for 21. Maybe one more year there and send them over here. He didn't do bad either in the AHL either. I mean, 15 points, 39 games.
The KHL season ends earlier than the NHL season. I think they end in March. So there was talk that if there's an opening, if he plays well and there's an opening here, most likely, I mean, he might come over. I think he probably will come over, to be honest with you.
That's cool.
Because he's already had a taste, and you don't
want
right
wing too. We're short on right wing, bro, because we're gonna trade Busnevich. So
there's always a chance.
We're gonna trade him.
They don't want to pay him. You're thinking, right?
I don't know. What do you want to pay him? What's a good number for him? He's gonna want a lot of quiche, but he's still an RFA, right?
I think he's got 2 more RFA years, right?
All right, that's so maybe you can get it for a good number. So
now we're playing without a ton of our 5 of our top 7 players, right? I mean,
yeah.
Maybe we got back-to-back against Boston. You're playing with an AHL level bottom 4 D pairings, right? So tell me why they aren't trying out this kid Tarmo, bro. Where is Tarmo?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know why.
Right? Where is our 22-year-old left-hand defensive wizard that's tearing up? I mean, he's not tearing up. In 4 games, he's got 2 goals and 2 assists in Hartford, but he's playing really well. He was not like a high pick, right? So I think he's like a 4th rounder. He's like 98th overall, right? Was he 3rd or 4th? What is that?
I don't know. I'm looking it up. Hold on.
It's probably the 3rd round. So he wasn't like a super high pick, but he's been trending upward ever since they drafted him. So he's getting a lot of love.
Beautiful man. 22 years old.
He's cute.
4th round, 98th overall.
Is he cute?
He's cutie.
Yeah.
He's got 4 points. I mean, why not, bro? He's played in Liga, like he's in the league.
Bro, let the kids play. Listen,
yeah,
I'm not gonna sit here and say I got the Hartford Wolfpack package, bro. I'm not sitting here like I could barely even watch the game with all the shit that's going on in my life. So I'm going based off of what these people on Twitter are talking about, but they're telling me they're saying things like quick decision maker, smart player, high IQ.
Yeah, all the buzzwords.
Contribute on both ends of the ice. Like, I love that shit. That sounds like Adam Fox to me. Let's get him up here.
Totally.
And maybe he turns into another Adam Fox, Keandre Miller. Like,
I get it if he was
the world 20, on fire.
I get it if he was 20 years old, but he's 22, right? So turning 23 soon, March 1st. So
that's great. You know what? That's perfect, because you know what? Defensemen take longer to develop. What Keandre Miller, what Miller's doing, and like what that's unheard of. Are they
trying to do the slide thing, like trying to squeeze out an extra year, maybe? Like they're bringing him up. They're going to bring him up later.
No, I don't think that counts on his contract. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, he's only played 4 games.
I think there is like cap implications. Right, I think there are cap implications with like you bring him up to the big team.
Yeah, but not just that. I mean, it's in terms of like when his
you're talking about burning a year off.
Yeah,
burning a year off of his contract.
Maybe that's why. But I mean, he's 22. He's turning 23. He's 23. He's 23 in 7 days. No, 4 days. So
I don't know how many kids have to get hurt for this guy to make it.
See, and we are depleted as fuck, right? Yeah, you're right.
I thought that this would be the time, but Jack Johnson's going to get the nod, I guess, because he hasn't been called up. I mean, the second he gets called up, I think Ranger Twitter is going to it's going to explode. It's
a good point why he hasn't been called up. He's finished. Get him in there, bro.
Let Capo, have a fucking friend to talk to.
And he's got good pedigree, bro. He's been in that Finnish league for a minute, 2 full years, like pretty.
He's seasoned, bro. He's definitely seasoned. And he's starting like, I mean, it's only 4 games, but everybody's saying he started off Hartford like on fire. Like
You got to
playing
trade
really
some of these
well.
fucking D guys for a fucking center. We have to. I don't want to fucking hear it anymore. That's it. Get rid of some of these D men. They're not all going to play here.
Yeah. So, I mean, and if Panarin's going to sit out for an extended period of time and we're going to keep getting all these COVID things and, COVID's going to hit every team, but the Rangers aren't deep. So when it does hit us, we're going to feel it a lot more than it's going to feel like other teams. We have a decent lineup, but it's not a deep lineup.
No.
So when we're getting hit like we're getting hit now, we're going to fall in the standings. I really wish there was a center at the top of this draft or a couple of centers at the top of this draft that I could say, you know what? All right, it sucks. We're going to lose another year, but the kids are learning and we're going to get this stud center that could come immediately. It's not going to happen. The only good thing is like maybe we pry Eichel away from the Sabres a little earlier because we have a top draft pick to give away.
I'd be going for Eichel right now, dude. I'd be calling them up.
I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait till the next season. I really don't. I don't want to wait till the end next season. If the Rangers are going to have a really high draft pick to give to the Sabres, right? Let's say we move further down the line. They're going to have a high odds, right? Like let's say we like land the top 5 pick. Maybe that deal gets done this year instead of next.
Yeah, I mean, they should be talking to him right fucking now. I don't forget next year. Now, right now. Talk about it right now.
I'm sure. Well, I mean, they did talk about it last year. So the Rangers called them up last year.
Bro, you got to throw Kakko in that. You're not throwing Kakko in that? You're crazy.
You know what? I really, obviously the kid's an amazing player. He's a future Hall of Famer. I hate just giving so much away to get one guy back. That guy has a career-ending injury, and now you've traded the farm to get this guy on your squad.
Like 2 number ones.
I know. I sound crazy.
Kakko and a defensive guy, like a good defensive prospect.
Dude, I mean, it's not that bad. I get so jacked up when this guy Gordon fleeces teams. Like when we got Mika for the deal that we got,
crazy.
Like I was ecstatic. When we got a first-round pick for Brady Shea, I was ecstatic. I get high off of this guy fleecing other GMs. I love it. You got to do that.
I guess
you got to work your magic.
But then you get you get a number 1 pick, but then it becomes Elias Anderson. It's all luck. It's a lot to do with luck. There's like stuff that's unknown that you can't predict.
Right. That's why I don't want to give away Kakko. I'm willing to give away Nils. I'm willing to give away Kravtsov. I'm willing to give away the 2 first-rounders. Give him Bush.
So what about?
I know we're gonna have to give away a proven commodity.
Oh, I would do that in a second. I would do that fucking Bush. Listen, all right, I'm Buffalo GM. I want Bush. I want Kravtsov. I want one of your top fucking defensive Nils. I want Nils, and I want 2 number 1s. 1 isn't protected.
That's 5. That's 5 valuable assets.
That's a beautiful package.
That's a nice package. You can't say he can't say he got fleeced, but the Rangers at the same time benefit greatly. So I don't know.
I mean, that's a lot of fucking people.
It's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
I mean, if we could throw Strome in there instead of Booch, I'm in.
I would love that. I was gonna say Strome, but I don't think anybody.
No, I don't think people like Strome, dude. I think Strome's got a stink on him, even though his contract's not that bad either, and like he can.
And his stats aren't that bad either.
No.
If you just look at his stats and you don't watch any Ranger games, right? Because maybe that's what the GMs. Maybe they don't watch the Ranger. I know their scouts are out there looking at players, but. If you just look at his stat line, it's not terrible. He's one of our top players, actually.
Going on Hockey DB and shit.
Yeah, that's it. If that's how you're doing, if that's how you're evaluating a package. So that's it, babe. You got anything else? I mean, we got a couple of tough games with a lot.
Julien got fired. I don't want him to be a Ranger coach at all. Not even for a fucking second. Let Quinn do his thing, and then we talk to Quinn. We see how he does next year. Okay, give Quinn this fucking year and shut up about it.
Quinn's got 2 years left on the contract, right? I mean, you got to at least let this year play out. I mean, even this year's not going to play out the way you want it, right? We're not going to make the playoffs the way it looks. It's a tough year. It's a tough year to judge anybody. I'm surprised. I'm kind of shocked at what the Canadians did, to be honest. They started out on fire.
I know,
right?
I know.
And you're firing this coach when your goalie's save percentage, is dipped into like the 890s, 880s.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Like the team's playing like garbage, fine, but like they started off on fire. I don't know what were their expectations coming into this year? That's another thing. Like, did they think they were gonna be a top team?
I would have thought they would have fired him last year before the play.
Yeah, and this guy's not a great coach anyway, bro. I don't want. He's like AV 2.0. I don't need that back in my life. David Quinn, sure, he's not perfect,
Yeah,
But
you know what it is though? I think it's people like in hockey have a hard on for names. They just have a super hard on for fucking
okay, that's another. All right, so that's true. People in hockey do have a hard on for names, right? But one of the things that like the savvy Ranger fans on social media have been talking about is like they don't want when we were hiring a new coach, they didn't want the same regurgitated coaches, right? They didn't want the same, the same not I like Tortorella, but I'm just saying those, people like
right.
AV and Julian and all those kinds of guys, they didn't want that. They wanted somebody new that was into analytics, right? That took all that stuff into account, that could develop young players and that was younger, bro. You don't want a coach that's 90 years old that can't relate to these young kids. You want somebody that's more down to their level, that's not too far removed from playing the game. That can actually relate to these young kids and what they're going through, what these Europeans.
I like that dude in Carolina. What's his name?
Who?
Coach in Carolina.
Well, I don't know the Carolina coach.
Brendamore? Is that his name? Brendamore?
Why? He's doing well?
He used to be a stud fucking player. He's in
Rod. Rod the Bod, baby.
Yeah.
Rod the Bod. Yeah, Brendamore.
I like that guy.
Yeah, he's good. Oh, he's a great player. He was a great player, and he's actually he's like super. He's just, so far he's got the team off to like a good start under his tenure. But I don't know, dude. I think you just let Quinn ride.
I think they are going to let Quinn ride. I don't think he's going to get fired.
You're not going to win these games anyway. Even if you do sneak into the playoffs, what do you think you're going to accomplish? We're in this to develop.
Yeah, listen, you kind of want to see some flashes of some good stuff. You kind of want to maybe see like a little bit of a run. I'm not saying, win fucking 12 or 14, but like, you want to see a little bit. You want to see something.
Right. But listen, I think even if we don't win any of these games, even if we don't make the playoffs, if you can just see progression from the kids, bro, that's a win. I'm sorry, that's a win. In my book, that's a win.
I'm with you. I agree.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
All right, that's the show. It's Artemy's Bread Basket. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. If you're watching it on YouTube, like and subscribe there. If you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any of the other platforms, rate it 5 stars there. Give it a review there, a good review, actually glowing, and you can subscribe there also.
Let's bump those numbers up. We're at 80. Let's get to 50 by the next episode. That'd be cool.
What else is there? There's something else I think I wanted to mention, but I don't remember. I can't remember it.
We're out of time.
Shut up. Just wait. What's wrong? What's the matter? You okay?
I gotta go.
Really? You have to poop?
No. I don't have to poop. I gotta put my kid to bed. It's 9:30. She's gonna stay up till midnight at this point.
Oh shit. Hold on 1 second. Just 1 second. Fuck. I should have had this ready to go.
I like Maria and Juan. Do you like my pretty pussy?
Thanks for listening, guys.
Oh, my friend, come to Russia for weekend. Oh, my friend, narcotic, don't forget. Johnny in command and race. LSD Sputnik.
Bye, George.
If you like romantic games, I'm sitting on your face.